Level on serve in the second set at 3 apiece. Only one service break in the entire match, rare for women's tennis. That came in the very first game of the first set when Zvereva broke Graf. Difference in the match so far. Graf has only had one breakpoint opportunity. That's how well Zvereva has been serving.
And as well as Natasha Zvereva's been playing, particularly on her serve, I must say Steffi's just not finding the mark, making too many unforced errors.
Those quick hands hit the net. You called her the best doubles player in the world.
Well, that's why it pays off to play doubles. Of course, that's Natasha Zvereva's specialty, but here she guesses right, and that was just not even a problem for her. If she can get her racket on the ball, most of the time it's going to get back in the court, no matter how hard the opponent hits it.
And of course, Steffi's one player who has seldom played doubles over the years.
Pulled it out.
15-all.
It would have been a great shot.
Would have made it love 30.
Exactly. With new balls flying a little more. Oh, the court appears to be pretty dry today.
30-15.
And you wonder if Zvereva was still out of breath on that after that long point at lap 15. Almost pulled it out. Then she misses 2 returns in a row. Both balls hit right at her. When you're out of breath, it's really hard to get out of the way of the ball. Very effective, actually, time to serve at somebody's body when you know they're tired after a long point.
So you would watch for that during a match?
Absolutely.
Game, Miss Graf.
Graf holds. Goes to 4-3.
Miss Graf leads by 4 games to 3, second set. First set, Mrs. Zvereva.
6-4, 4-3, and the match has only lasted 57 minutes, so that tells you we've not had very many long baseline rallies or long games. Only a couple games had gone to deuce. You see winners, first set, Graf's 9, now she's at 13. Already many more, and the set's not even over. Zvereva's gone down a little bit. I think she's playing it a little safe, but still hitting a high percentage first serves in.
Well, in the first set, Steffi was making so many errors that it was good strategy to play safe. Wait for Steffi to knock one out. But in the second set, Graf, as you see, stepping it up. Much higher number of winners. Steffi trying to avoid an early exit at a Grand Slam, totally uncharacteristic of her career. Since 1986, there have only been 2 slams that she entered without making the quarterfinal. Lost in the 4th round at Australia, January of 1997, and lost in the first round at Wimbledon, of course, in 1994, on a day very much like today, when Lori McNeil scored the upset. Same Lori McNeil who yesterday vanquished Jennifer Capriati. The now 22-year-old Jennifer Capriati.
Led for service.
exerting herself, and she'll be looking for that forehand more and more. Even though she's missed a few today, she still wants to keep hitting that forehand. And when it gets close, late in the set or the match, she always runs around more to hit the forehand. Graf should have had that forehand. She looked a little uncertain of herself on that point. Steffi annoyed with the serve. You saw after Graf hit the return, she stopped because she was waiting for the call. The machine didn't call it. And Graf not ready for that second shot. She better be playing everything. They're not going to be calling it. That's a nice.
Zvereva, who had seen her first serve percentage dipping a little bit, starting to get it back in this game.
And what I can't believe is that so far Steffi Graf's only had one break point on the opponent's serve.
In the whole match.
In the whole match. In 8 service games, only one break point. That was a nervous serve there from Zvereva, I thought. Graf hitting with the wind now a little bit. You see their hair moving. And that ball skidded on Zvereva. It just moved through the air a little quicker with the help of the wind. In general, it blows from our right to our left, from Steffi's end of the court into Zvereva. For Steffi Graf, as she hits a really hard volley here. And the net slowed the ball down. Still a good get by Zvereva. Just played the ball.
So instead of earning for Graf a break point, the volley hits the let cord and it becomes advantage Zvereva. Key turnaround in the match. Zvereva holds once again.
That was the biggest point of the second set, certainly. One Steffi would like to have back because she shouldn't have hit the net with that forehand volley. She should have put it away easily. That really was her error.
Had she put it away, it would have set up a break point. Now the pressure's on Graf to hold once again. Hard enough in the past for Zvereva to win games from Steffi Graf. Almost impossible to win sets. She's trying to win match points.
15 love.
Yeah, she's never come close in those 3-set matches. The third set score was 6-1, 6-2, and 6-3. So she's not even been in the ballpark.
30-15.
Steffi picking up the pace on the first serve a little bit here.
(40-15).
Quite ready for that ball to come back so fast and so deep. Didn't get herself organized.
Again, Ms. Graf.
Well, we got ourselves a serious match here.
They continue to hold game after game. Only one service break in the entire match.
Ms.
That's the
Graf
difference in the
leads
match.
by 5 games to
Zvereva
4.
up a set.
Second set.
They're even on serve at
First
5-4
set,
Graf in the
Zvereva.
second. Overall analysis of the match so far, Martina.
Where are those numbers? Here we
There they
go. First serve percentage, Zvereva still high. At one point she was at 80% early on in the match. Very good 70%. Graf 63, okay. But surprisingly, Zvereva winning higher percentage on the points where she gets the first serve in than Graf. Usually Steffi's higher than her opponent in that category. And again, only one break point for Graf. Zvereva 1 out of 4, but that was, I think, in 2 different games. So that conversion okay. I'm just so surprised that Steffi has not been able to solve Zvereva's serving a little better. She's getting the ball back, but then Zvereva's just beating her off the ground.
9 service games for Zvereva so far. Graf only with 1 breakpoint opportunity in those 9 games. Natasha will serve in just a moment for the 10th time, trying to make it 5-5 in the second.
And she needs to keep getting that first serve in, because so far in the match, on second serve points, she's only won 47%. You want to be about 55, so Zvereva a little low there. But because she's been serving such a high percentage, 70%, she's been able to get away with it.
Can't imagine anybody contradicts me if I say that this would be one of Natasha's biggest singles wins, certainly of the last 4 or 5 years.
15-11.
I would say beating Steffi Graf at Wimbledon is probably the biggest win of anyone's career. Oh, that's beautiful. That's the forehand we know. Some of us hate it, some of us love it. Look at the racket head speed. God, she just whips around there. Incredible. Don't try that at home, however. Could be dangerous. That ball hit the post.
30-15.
Sometimes you see a really funny bounce off that, and the ball goes sort of 90 degrees to the left and comes over the net. Steffi a little unlucky on that.
She's going to be seeing this net in her dreams if she isn't able to pull the match out.
Because Zvereva kept the ball deep, and finally she was able to get a short ball. Too much power on that forehand. Another huge point in this match.
15-30. Graf 2 points away from taking the set. 30-15, I should say.
Steffi had the
40,
opportunity there,
30.
but didn't do much with this backhand. Probably she didn't see Zvereva sneaking in, and now Zvereva's got a game point for 5-all.
Yep, let me correct my score. 40-30. Looked at the wrong scoreboard. Again, Zvereva holds. 10th consecutive service hold for Natasha Zvereva. 5-5 in the second.
5 games
Natasha
all.
took the first set 6-4. And as they go to the 11th game of the second set, Steffi Graf's chances at an 8th Wimbledon singles championship hanging very much in the balance.
You know, earlier I was saying that when it gets really tough, when it gets close, Graf looks for that forehand, runs around her backhand. I have not seen it this match, and I'm wondering how much of it is just her not having played so much, and if it is the knee, and her either not trusting it or the knee or leg just not being strong enough to get her around to hit the forehand more.
Zvereva playing with exceptional
Long
confidence.
30.
Sometimes it's just your day, and this has been Natasha's day so far.
Nobody could have gotten that shot. Unbelievable angle on that forehand. Serve. I thought maybe she would chip and charge, do something
15,
different.
30.
She certainly has that shot, because that is about the easiest ball she's going to get during the rally. Steffi got out of the trouble quickly with the forehand.
Oh. 15-40.
Has she missed those forehands? She's missed them by a mile.
Big chance here now. Zvereva with a chance to break Graf and set herself up to win the match. Graf fights off the first one. Another break point still coming.
They're looking for the serve out wide to the backhand. That is Steffi's best serve, and I know when I had break point, she went there 99% of the time. And made him most of the time, unfortunately, for me.
Service break for Natasha Zvereva, the second one of the match. Extremely tightly played women's match in terms of holding serve. Very rare that we would be 21 games into a women's tennis match and there have been only 2 service breaks. But in this instance, that's the case. Natasha Zvereva has achieved both of them. And in a moment, she will serve for an upset win over Steffi Graf. Steffi Graf in a third-round match against longtime opposite number and easy target Natasha Zvereva. I say easy target because despite all of Zvereva's known skills and her ranking, as Martina Navratilova says, as the best doubles player in the world over the past several years, she has played Steffi Graf 18 times in her career on various surfaces, including this one, and Steffi has won all 18 of those preceding matches, and seldom close. Graf having won 36 of their preceding 39 sets coming into this match. But lo and behold, today, Zvereva breaks Graf's service in the first game of the first set, goes on to take the set 6-4, and now, after going to 5-5 in the second, Natasha gets the service break that sets her up to serve for her first win ever over Graf, and a big early upset in the women's draw.
And the numbers are not in Steffi Graf's favor at the moment, having had only that one break point the whole match. Zvereva holding serve 10 times in a row.
Biggest service game now of Natasha Zvereva's life.
15 love.
Steffi's just not been able to create anything different, anything new or consistent. That's been the problem with her forehand. It goes in one point and way out the next. She's not been able to make it back to back.
Well, if you had come here this morning wanted to bet on Natasha to beat Steffi Graf, you probably could have gotten 20-to-1 odds.
Or better.
And she knows that.
Big opportunity for Steffi Graf. Of course, this is do or die. You don't get another chance.
Suddenly, Natasha can't get the first serve in anymore. Suddenly, Zvereva can't get the backhand over the net.
She's tight. She is really, really nervous. She knows this is her best opportunity.
Double break point for Graf, who had only had one previous break point opportunity in the match.
And Zvereva really needs to get her first serve in. She's been winning only about 35% points on her second serve throughout the match.
Back to deuce. Zvereva 2 points away from taking the match.
Let's see if she can keep going for her shots. The last 2 points, she made Steffi hit great shots. Before that, she was playing careful. Let's see if she starts playing careful again or keeps going for it. You gotta go for it if you want to beat the top players. They're not going to lose it. You have to win it.
Zvereva suddenly assertive again after having looked tentative for the preceding 4 or 5 points.
Advantage Mrs. Zvereva.
And now Steffi Graf, after having failed to convert 2 breakpoint opportunities in this game, is match point down.
And Zvereva's heart is pounding, and it's not because she just played a tough point, let me tell you. Zvereva forcing Steffi Graf into hitting about 6 forehands in a row, hoping she would miss, but no such luck. Was Zvereva. Incredible. Both players really playing super tennis here.
This has been an extremely well-played match. And the second match point opportunity now for Zvereva.
Advantage Mrs.
Zvereva's breathing hard because of another match point and a very hard point as well.
Graf showing her championship heart. Can she find another way to avert defeat? Natasha Zvereva with an almost unbelievable singles win on center court over Steffi Graf. Only the third time in her entire career that Graf, or since '88 I should say, not in her whole career, but since she became a top player in '88, that Graf has exited a Grand Slam prior to the quarterfinal round. The loss in the fourth round at the Australian Open last year, the loss to Laurie McNeil in the first round in '94 here at Wimbledon, and now this. And Martina, a final comment from you on what this means to Natasha Zvereva, and more critically, what it means to Steffi Graf.
Well, for Zvereva, obviously, to me, the biggest win of her career. Unbelievable after losing 18 times in a row. For Graf, you have to wonder, you know, if this is her last Wimbledon or if she'll be back. People have been writing her off for years, though. I wouldn't be surprised if she's back here for a few more years.
Well, I mean, the key was that I wasn't moving well out there. I was really, I mean, I was so tight that even on the return, I mean, I didn't find really a way to go for my shots. I mean, some of the forehands were okay, but just whenever, you know, just at the important points I didn't play well at all.
I thought I was extremely concentrating on every point. It never happened before. Never, ever. Everybody was in the locker room laughing at me. They're like, what happened? You concentrated at every point. What's wrong with you? Are you sick? In my forehead.
Word of the big upset spread quickly through the grounds. Check out this reaction from Zvereva's doubles partner and buddy, Lindsay Davenport, who got the news just after winning her third-round match. Straight set, she says? Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It really was something to see, Martina, but let me ask you this. Just how big a setback is this for Steffi Graf?
Well, I think physically she must be happy that her body held up for a change, but emotionally this could be really difficult to take. And also, I've never seen her so nervous and not being able to shake it during the whole match. She never could get her feet going. So we'll see how she goes after this.
Well, we'll also see what happens now in the women's draw. Have a look at the seeds. This is what we started with on Monday. And here's what we are left with now, Martina. What do you make of this, and who does it affect most?
Well, obviously, the Seller's quarter now, she seems to have an easier way to the semifinals, where she still has to get by Testud, who she lost to last year. But that's about really the only big upset in the draw.
And what about Jana Novotná? I really think she's playing well, even though she had to, you know, work her way hard to get past that last round.
Everybody has a tough match. At least one out of the 6 or 7, you're going to have a nervous match, and I think hers is behind her now.
All right, well, now let's have a look at what's going on the men's side. Here's how things started with the men on Monday. And look where we are now. Half of the 16 seeds are gone, Martina. What do you make of this?
Well, we still have Philippe